Hi guys. So usually I'm here in a fantastic state of mind, putting forward some wisdom drops in the hopes to help. But I'm gonna be real right now. Okay, so I just went to the doctor because pretty sure I have ADHD. Why do I think I have ADHD? Well, symptoms. And then squirrel. Let's go through them. Forgetfulness is the number one symptom for me. I'll forget things like all the time. So you go to the shop for a particular item, come back with everything but. All the time. Like it's like a running joke in our household. And Jonathan says, I feel like you do this on purpose. I don't. I literally don't, because I hate disappointing people, but I'm always forgetting things. The other day I went to the doctor. I'm laughing ahead of the story, I'm sorry. I went to the doctor and I got a script, and the doctor is right next to the chemist. So I parked literally in between the doctor and the chemist. So I left the doctor with the script in hand and said to myself, I'm going to go to the script now before I jump in the car and go home. 20 meters I walked, jumped in the car with my script in my hand and drove home without going to the chemist. Like, this is literally how quick it is for me to go from I need to do this to whoop, it's gone out my brain. So forgetfulness, number one. Number two, listening skills. I really try, and I think that I do a really good job of pretending to listen. People's like change their voice, or you hear them ask a question, or they pause, or something else around the room happens to make me go, oh shit, I'm not listening. It's not that I don't find it interesting, it's not that I don't care, it's just my brain is, you say something and it might remind me of something else and I'm gone, fully gone. This also comes hand in hand with sort of inability to focus and absorb information. I'm telling you this set of instructions, so now absorb it and keep it. I can't do that. Like, I love reading. Like, I'm a writer, okay? So get this, I cannot read. Like, I can read, but I have so much trouble absorbing into a book. So I can either read a book in 3 days, or 3 months, or 3 years, or I never finish it. And it's not that I don't like the book or find it interesting, it's just that I'm at the stage where my brain is just reading the same paragraph over and over again and nothing is sinking in, like I'm not enjoying myself. So the next thing is lack of motivation and procrastination. They kind of go hand in hand. But there's a thing in ADHD where they can be seen as being lazy, which is not the case. So there's a thing I want to do. I want to do the thing, I plan to do the thing. I just physically cannot get myself to do the thing. And this is not just because I'm tired or need to rest. I just can't. It's so hard to explain. It's so hard to explain. I just can't do the thing. It might take me all day of sitting there going, I need to do the thing, I want to do the thing, I have to do the thing, to eventually do it or not do it, and get really, really upset and distressed with myself for just not being able to do it. I do this with writing. You know, I wake up and I plan to write, I'm gonna get so much done today. And it's come to the point now where I just don't tell myself what I'm going to do. I just hope for the best, and if I write, I write. And it's the same for making appointments and other little bits and pieces like vacuuming, housework, just all the little things that should be easy, that you have on your to-do list, that should just, you know, okay, what's next? Just can't do it. It's like paralysis in the brain. Yeah. Procrastination. If it's not urgent, if people aren't waiting on me to do it, if there's no urgency to it, I put it off. I've done this my whole life. So I've done it with schoolwork, with assignments, with applying myself to anything. I'd always wait until the last minute. It's like time management too. Like, I think I've got a lot of time to do things, and then 10 minutes to go, I'm like, I need to do all the things things, I don't have time, I haven't brushed my hair, like what the heck. It's just so on the other end of that, so you've got lack of motivation and procrastination. On the other end of that, you've got hyperfocus. So it's this zone that people with ADHD can get into where you fixate on something, you're in it, and that's it. Nothing else in the world matters. It's like this is the only thing in the whole entire world that's happening in this very moment, you doing this thing. So it could be anything. It could be doing a puzzle, it could be going on the internet, researching something down a rabbit hole, it could be writing. For me, sometimes I do get in hyperfocus, which is fantastic because that's the only time that things get done. Designing something, I often get really when I'm on Photoshop doing graphics or editing photos. It's a really, it just takes my attention. And so when you're in this phase, you forget to eat, you forget to go to the toilet, not until, you don't wet yourself or anything, but it's like, okay, you notice, oh, I need to go to the toilet, I'll just do this thing, and an hour later you're busting because you haven't just gotten up to go, because it's that hyperfocus. And I've been in this stage a lot when I go to pick up the kids from school, so I have to bring myself out of this moment. You look at your clock and, oh my gosh, I'm late to pick the kids up, and you have to come out of this hyperfocus. And as I'm driving, I feel like I'm living in an alternate universe. Like, who am I? Where am I? I'm out of my body. It's really hard to come back to the present moment. Distractedness. This is another big symptom. I get distracted really easily. My mind jumps from thing to thing. Some people think that this and having trouble focusing go hand in hand. I mean, they kind of do, but for me it's a different kind of thing. It's a whirring of thoughts. It's a, oh, I should do this, no, I should do this. It's I'm cleaning the kitchen at the moment, oh, but this belongs in the bedroom. So you walk to the bedroom and then you see something in the bedroom that needs to be done. So you vacuum the bedroom, and then you're walking past the lounge room and you go, oh, look, there's something else that needs to be put away. So you put that in the bathroom, and then you see a dirty sink, and then you clean that. And then when you go to put it in the bin in the kitchen, you realize, oh, I haven't finished cleaning the kitchen yet. It's just bouncing from one thing to another. And it's not just with actions, it's often with thoughts and just what you go on. Which is why I think a lot of people with ADHD suffer from anxiety, because you can get caught in a spiral of bad thoughts. For me, it's more imaginative thoughts, like crazy, quirky. It's like that movie Up with the dog, and he's talking about something, and then squirrel. That's ADHD. Well, that's a symptom of ADHD. Everyone gets distracted at times, but if people with ADHD, it's constant. It's just life. And I always thought that was just how it is. That's just how brains go. They're just constantly whirring. And yep. Restlessness. So this comes with the hyperactivity side of ADHD, which I don't think I have. When I was a kid, often it was ants in your pants. Not to the point where it was like, something's wrong with this kid. It was just, she's full of life, she's bubbly. That, into my adult life, that has dulled a lot, but it manifests in different ways. So I'm always moving, constantly moving. So if it's not my feet tapping, it's my fingers clicking and picking, or scratching at myself, or picking at my skin, or just something. There's always something. Changing positions. I cannot sit in the same position for a long time. I'm always changing positions. So if I'm in like a meeting where I have to stay seated, I can stay seated, because there's that thing as I don't like upsetting people. So I will stay seated, but I will move positions. So you'll often find me sitting cross-legged in a chair, which is weird to some people, but it helps me sort of regain focus. Yeah, brings me back into my body without my head going out. I think that's one of the things with moving, is that it helps you focus more. So my husband hates me fidgeting all the time, and he'll tell me, just sit still, stop clicking or whatever. And then I'm out of it. My brain just goes, because I'm don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move. And then I've missed 10 minutes of the TV show we were watching because I'm trying to keep still thinking. That's my focus, is all going to me not moving. Another symptom is project management. You get excited by new projects. You know, I'm always having ideas, always having things, oh, I should do this. And sometimes I share them ahead of time and then I'm like, whoops, because I didn't actually finish that. When I first released my first novel, I got so excited. I made a plan for the next 3 years. I'm going to release this, and it didn't work out that way. In 2018, I had planned to release 3 books in a series, and none of them have even been started to be written yet. So it's just all that starting things and then not finishing. It takes a lot of dedication and a lot of just really forcing yourself to get in and finish the thing. It's I mean, I've done 7 novels, which some people think, oh, well, you finished your project, so that's great. I've got 30 novels, 40 probably, just inside my head wanting to be written, and me going, wait, no, you have to wait, because I need to finish this first. It's really, 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 really hard. A couple of smaller things to note, without going too much into them. Other symptoms of ADHD that I have are disorganisation, daydreaming, always daydreaming. Fragile emotions. I take everything to heart, even banter. Like, yeah, I get cut really easily. And then frustration and critical of self when you do these things and you've got one thing in your mind of what you want to do, but your brain won't let you do it, or your brain makes you do other things instead. Like, what the heck is going on? It's just, you get really down on yourself and you feel like, what's wrong with me? Like, I'm to blame, guilt, big time. As with a lot of things, ADHD is on a spectrum. So some people can get it severe, some moderate, some mild. I think I'm mild to moderate. I know that I'm not severe, which is why it's sort of slipped under the radar for me throughout my school years and most of my adult life. Another good way to describe my symptoms, and I've often said this with a bit of joking, I'm an all or nothing person. And I didn't realise that that was a symptom until I started researching. So it's basically all or nothing. And it's tiring. I'm really kind of sick of it that way. So I went to the doctor.